Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rhoda. In this channel I film about faith, lifestyle, youthfulness and self-development. So in our topic of today, we'll be talking about obedience. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, obedience is defined as the condition of being willing to do what someone tells you to do. Oftentimes, people regard obedience as, one-sided, like always obeying a particular authority. But I would like to say that obedience can also be the other way, in fact, in the sense that you can actually obey a lesser authority. Now, this can be seen in a situation where the higher authority has the ability to be humble, to listen, or to get advice and leadership from someone from a lower authority. Now, a perfect example of this we can see is in the life of Jesus in the book of Philippians chapter 2 verse 8, where the Bible says that Christ obeyed even to death. At that point, like, death is something which is, very, very not really good. But Christ had to obey even to obeying death on the cross. We can also see another expression of obedience to a lesser authority in the book of John chapter 14 verse 23. Why should we obey? Now, there are various reasons why we should obey, but I would like to list 3 reasons. Firstly, we have to be obedient because it is a command. As written in the book of Ephesians chapter 6 verse 1, telling children to obey their parents. Yeah, in that case we can see clearly it's about obeying a higher authority. Secondly, why we should obey is because it comes with a blessing. Like, there is always a payment of obedience in the long run. Thirdly, we obey because it gives us self-worth, a sense of self-worth, satisfaction and accomplishment. So those are the 3 reasons why, if you feel like, you don't have to obey, think about those, and I think it would help you to start to see obedience as very, very important. And a very interesting fact about the topic obedience is that obedience does not only end with, the Bible, but even in our social lives, obedience acts as a social influencer. Now, if you look at the experience of Milgram experiments, you will realize the importance of, obedience and all that. Things that causes us or that influences us to be obedient. The first of which is the trust you have for that personality, for that person who asks you to do something or who commands you to do something. You cannot be obedient to someone whom you don't trust. So that is very, very vital. And I would like to say that as children of God, like, if you find yourself being unable to obey God in certain areas of your life, that is a sign, that is something which is letting you to understand that you have not trusted God enough, to obey what He's asking you to do. And we can look at that in the book of John chapter 10 verse 27 to 28. Another reason why or something which causes us to be obedient is our proximity to the authority. Like I mentioned earlier, in the Milgram experiment, you see that the people who were asked to do something actually could do it because of the presence of the authority in the room. So I don't want to say explicitly about it, but you can go check it out. So yeah, your proximity to the authority actually influences your ability to be obedient. And likewise, the more closer you are to God, that is, the more you are able to obey Him, and vice versa. The more closer you are to the world, that's how frequently you find yourself living according to the worldly standard. And notwithstanding, I want to say that if you haven't been able to, live a life of obedience, it is not yet too late, and you can always ask God to help you. You can always work on that. Like I mentioned, or in my according to my channel, which we are focused about developing ourselves and many other areas of our lives. So you being able to work on that will be a plus for you, and I know that with time you are going to really make it. The aspect of obedience is not something that actually comes in a day, so you have to continuously work on that. So thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, comment, ask more questions if you have, and I'll be glad to answer them.